Hey, Rich Reinhardt back with Low Down and Dirty. We're still at the Lattimore Valley Fairgrounds, and today I have the president of the Eastern Museum of Motor Racing, Nancy Miller, with me. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for having us here today, more likely.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Anything we can do to promote the museum and this event, it's great.
And we'll keep you busy all day.
I like to stay busy. But tell us a little bit how you got involved in the museum and you raised to the rank of president, and what do you do every day?
We started bringing an old car here probably in 1985, and I just basically came along with that. And then about 9 years ago, the job came open to handle the cars that go to all the tracks that we do our British racetracks at. And so I've been doing that for the last 9 years. I had to turn that over. I can't keep up with the drivers anymore.
Right.
And so we have Beth, and she does a very good job at that.
Good. Now you, every time I've been out here so far, you've been here. I mean, it seems like all the volunteers are pretty much here all the time. They're almost full-timers. So
we have 60 acres here. It includes a track, a campground, and up at the museum. And everybody has a job, and everybody knows. And we get everybody here. Whoever mows, whoever cleans the building, whoever attends the cars. The guys have the garage down here. Everybody has their own job, and everybody knows who does that.
So it's pretty much for
it's total volunteer.
Total volunteer. How appropriate was that?
Yeah. That's my tone.
Now, you stress that you're all volunteers and all donations. If somebody wants to get involved and volunteer, I mean, you're not going to keep them here. You have to be here every Saturday, 8 o'clock, correct? They can come out here. I've met guys that live around where I live. They come out and they review pictures and things like that.
We're happy to have anybody here. Our library is quite extensive, and we do a lot of like 10,000 pictures came from Williams Grove about 3 years ago. And that's a lot of pictures to be put in.
It's a lot of pictures.
Oh yeah.
Guys that just like to sit and do that.
Yeah.
As far as my position here, I try to fill in for whatever they need, and I've been here for, I guess I've been president for like 7 years, and that's what made me want to come to NN pretty soon. I'm going to maybe step down.
Now, last time I was here talking to you, you told me that you used to go to Port Royal back in the day, and that's how you started racing. Was back way a little bit probably before I was born.
Yeah. I grew up in Port Royal, and my dad was always on a fire crew, so Mom and I sat on the same seat in the old grandstand for probably 10, 15 years. I think Port Royal opened up after World War II over, and then it became a wonderful track today.
I want to particularly mention.
And now you also worked at the factory there.
After the third turn of Port Royal, there's a long building that was a flesh factory, and that's where I had my first job. And off the second turn, you can see the white steeple
Stoner's Twisted
for
Teas.
a church that I went to Sunday school.
Nice,
and that's the church we all see.
Yeah, we all see the steeple. Yes.
Yep, that's the picture. Everybody that goes there's got to go to the top of the grandstand and take a picture of the town with the white church steeple.
Oh yeah.
Everybody I bring from out of town, they got to take that picture.
That's the picture.
They see the church steeple. Oh, there's a church steeple. I got to take a picture. But, well, we do appreciate that the labor and love you people have here. If you want to join the museum, you can do it in person. You can do it online, correct?
You can join online. You can call the museum, or you can do it in person. Our memberships are $20 a year, or $200 for a lifetime. And we have approximately 1,300 members. We have members from all over the world, from like Norway, Australia, Brazil, and those people actually come here.
Yep. And East Greenville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yep. Say I've been a member. It's great. I mean, you get a great newsletter. You get a discount in the gift shop, which is always nice. Anytime now these days you can save a couple of bucks here and there. It's great. And
we have an extensive library in our gift shop for sale. We have some good books.
Thank you again.
We do sell a lot of books in the library.
I bought several books from their library. Some really great stuff. Actually, out of print stuff.
And yes, and the gift shop, they have a good selection.
And you always have new T-shirts.
Yes,
There's always something new coming out.
T-shirts and jackets.
Yep.
Cups. Anything you want.
And it's a great museum. And just in case you're wondering, we're going to go up there in a little bit and walk around. And we're going to get some tours from some people who work here, probably Lynn and probably Steve Bub. But it's not just sprint cars. Everybody thinks that it's Pennsylvania sprint cars. There's modifieds and NASCAR and dragsters and snowmobiles and motorcycles. There's all kinds of neat stuff in there. So it's motor racing, not just sprint car racing. It's motor racing.
By every display, we have a card that tells you everything about what's in that display. Maybe who owned the car, whether they loaned it to us, or whether we own it It's going to be going back to their
Right.
home. We have a couple that's going to be going back to California this year.
Yep, and you've got constantly changing cars. You're getting donor cars in and things like that.
That's one
so
thing
it
Lynn
does
does.
change.
We try to change
Yep.
probably between maybe 5 and 10, 12 cars a year.
Yep.
We have approximately 100 cars here. And we have 100 years of racing.
Yep. It's really cool stuff. So
We just got a car in from Iowa
Uh-huh.
that sat in the same spot for 85 years. And
Wow.
we now have a quarter in the museum with that car and a lot of his motors, old stuff he had in his garage out there.
and tell us some of the famous people who visit this museum.
Mario Andretti hasn't been here, but he became a member.
Okay.
And Rico, a brew, was here 2 weeks ago. And
Wasn't there some guy named Tony Stewart here?
no, but he has promised Linda he will
Okay.
come here.
All right.
Yes.
I knew he was either going to come here or
Brad
he promised
Doty's been here.
Brad Doty. Yeah.
And a lot of our local race drivers, we have a round table every third Sunday of the month. And we may get Fred Raymer, or we may get Rich Eichelberger, we may get Bob Stewart, whoever we can get, and they're well attended.
Right. Yep. I've actually
And they
watched
all
some
do
of
it
those.
for free.
Yep. Yeah. Everything's free.
Everything's
These people are all volunteer. Got some track package.
Oh, yeah.
We don't charge admission, but
Yes.
we have volunteer money.
There is a donation box, so
Yes.
if you do come in, it's actually drop a few bucks in there. It's well worth it, and buy some stuff at the gift shop. Become a member. Support racing. It's great that these people are actually putting their own time. Look around, there's some old restored cars. They're doing this all in their own time, you know. And history is important. Racing history is important. You know, people joke with me, I like history of racing because I was probably around for most of it. You know. And
We have a gentleman that was a member here that about 5-6 years ago donated us $200,000. So that let us build the annex building that's up at the museum. And we recently, about 100 yards away, constructed a new 50 by 100 building, which we need, and a lot of our stuff we need to store is going to be going over there.
Nice.
And that'll all be done by volunteers. We have about 12-15 cars to go over there. That'll all be done by volunteers.
And you do take donations of items.
We take donations of items. We get about a pickup truckload of stuff a week. And it may be trophies, it may be old uniforms, you know, and anything people have. The old man dies, and the kids don't want to do this. They said that'll here.
Right.
And what we do is we keep what we need, and then we tell people that we'll put it up for auction, and so we get a lot of stuff out there to the country by having auction here.
Right.
And that's also one of our ways that we have fundraising.
There you go. So there you have it. Well, Nancy, thank you for joining us today. Thank you mostly for having us today.
We appreciate that.
We want to promote the museum. I think it's important. I love it here. It's one of my favorite places in racing is this area right here with the museum and the track. So I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we have a t-shirt for you here somewhere.
Yep.
Thank you.
And for Lynn.
We want you to
Anytime.
show the low down and dirty colors. That
We will do that.
so hey, Nancy Miller, president of EMMR, and we thank her for coming. Thank her for having us. So everybody, stay tuned. We're going to have some more guests coming up in a second.